The name of Brazilian Luis Maldonalle may be strange to fans of neoclassical heavy metal, but it shouldn't be, since the musician has a talent that we can put at the level of a Yngwie Malmsteen. Bold statement? Maybe, because Malmsteen has an untouchable place in the history of heavy music, but his latest works have not been up to our standards. Maldonalle, on the one hand, not only brings some freshness to the neoclassical genre, but also presents us with an ability to write great songs in addition to displaying all his technical power. What he may lose in originality, he gains in the overall quality of his music. Furia is recommended to all hard and heavy neoclassical fans who are eager for good music. Just listen to Mephisto to be sure of that.
This was a good surprise, coming from the Portuguese underground. The Graveyard Ensemble have a peculiar and very careful image that does not make us predict that we are facing a death metal band. Of course, here the term death metal can never be used in all its splendor, since what they really get closer to is good old death and roll, although Blackbird Dave's voice is practically the only link to the style. The production could be more organic but still manages to transport us to that characteristic blues-driven rock and roll groove, with a hint of murder ballads in the good old American way, this only in the ambience created, of course. The result is not perfect, but it has that magic we look for in heavy music, which makes us want to listen to the second volume.
You'd probably think that a Ross the Boss compilation wouldn't be of much interest. After all, the band came about almost by accident and after the occasion to perform Manowar songs, something that is repeated live even after 4 original albums. This is not to say that the new original songs are uninteresting. Compared to what his band has been doing for the last 20 years, his solo work is superior in both quantity and quality. The point is that we have become accustomed to seeing the activity on stage as just an opportunity to relive the Manowar classics, and a compilation like this one where we have the best songs from the 4 albums edited by the iconic guitarist's band may pass us by. It may not interest those who are only looking for Manowar, but for those who like heavy metal, it may be an opportunity to get to know the work of a guitarist who still has a lot of creativity to give to heavy metal.
This is a rabid August Burns Red album, which pours out all the frustrations the band has experienced in recent years, and is also one of their best works. Multifaceted, much more than just another metalcore album, and with countless nuances that make it not only an attentive listen, but a repeated one. And if you didn't have the patience for that, fans of more traditional stuff will surely be impressed by the anger and the way the virtuosity takes everything to a new level. You can feel a renewed energy and sense an enthusiasm for these new songs that make you forget any preconceptions you might have about metalcore as a genre. An addiction you don't want to give up too soon.
Ye.Stem is a band that draws the attention of those who follow the Polish scene, since it has 3 former members of the mythical Post Regiment. A new life with this new band that brings more melody to hardcore, as well as a foot firmly planted in punk. The result is a captivating work that, despite its melodic potential, does not fail to sound organic and simple, as all punk should sound. Lyrically, it is a total mystery, since it is sung in Polish, but still, speaking the language of punk and hardcore, this is a work that has no problem pleasing those who are fluent in the dialect.
Gallus is a name to retain when it comes to alternative rock, whether in a less melodic and close to noise rock, close only, or in a tone that points to the more accessible side of the style. As a maximum example, we have 2 first songs of this, We Don't Like the People We've Become, in which moderation plays the role of driving away those who think they come for disposable music, and the second shows the other side of the coin with an addictive song that has everything that indie rock has brought us good in the last 30 years. It is between these 2 camps that this album is situated and enriched thanks to a mix that makes it very captivating.
Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Gloryhammer, you have to admit that what the band does, they do very well. Something that we can point out as being the legacy of A Rhapsody with Freedom Call, exploring to the maximum a certain nonsense flavor in its themes and concepts, but then with deliciously melodic and captivating music for those who like power metal. Something that here is more refined than ever. And it is curious the timing of the release of this album when it appears almost shortly after the debut of the new project of the former vocalist. Between the two, it seems to me that this one gets better results, and the new singer, who by now has been there for 2 years, is up for the challenge. The legacy continues.
Ultraphauna is the new band of Timba Harris, violin and trumpet, and Dorothy Wave, vocals and synthesizers, and with the participation of Toby Driver, bass, and Joel Murray, drums, names that you may recognize from other bands and projects such as the Stratosphere, Secret Chiefs, Grails, among many others. The sound as expected is quite unusual but totally addictive. Experimental, but that does not alienate the common listener. Just have a love for striking melodies, the sense of jam, where the music seems to have a life of its own and leads the musicians and not the other way around. More than an hour of passionate and hypnotic music that is too special to be explained in words rather than simply heard.